I never planned to get political. I wanted my channel to be a safe place to land, a place where I show my collections, my thrift shop hauls. Just kind of a gentle place to come to be, to rest. But something happened and now I'm getting political. I have received notice from my employer that I will no longer be welcome at a job I worked at for 16 years, where I was respected, where I was a valued employee, where I have a stack of good, what do you call them, reviews, in a field I have worked especially I've worked in for over 20 years, in a field that I have worked in for 30. Because the vaccine was released less than a year after the first known case of COVID, because the vaccine, according to the CDC's own website, does not prevent the transmission of the virus. What it does is it keeps the vaccine recipient, and I do believe this study, okay? I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I have run flu clinics. I'm not even against this vaccine. When you come right down to it, it's not, I don't believe it's immoral, but it was released too soon. It does not prevent transmission. So I'm not actually protecting anybody by taking it. I would only be protecting myself. And because it's too soon to know the long-term safety and efficacy studies. They are just now starting to do the reproductive studies. At the end of last week, they announced that they were going to do menstrual cycle studies. But because I won't take the vaccine, I have been told that on November 1st, I am no longer welcome at my job. I am going to go for the religious exemption, even though I'm a Catholic and the Catholic Church does not forbid vaccines. But I'm going to try to go for the religious exemption because I do believe it's against the virtues of both prudence and justice. I'm also going to go for the medical exemption because I do have 2 different autoimmune issues. They don't affect my day-to-day life that badly. I have to go for, monitoring, but, I generally live and let live. So the reason that I'm bringing this to this forum is that I am now on a search for I'm a nurse, so I'm on a search for a new either career entirely, or I'm gonna have to figure out how I move forward in the face of a mandate that is totalitarian. When nobody's holding a gun to my head, but when they flip the script on you, when I entered nursing, no one told me I would be a pharmaceutical guinea pig, okay? This is a hell of a fine print. So I'm sure there are other people on the same journey of trying to rebuild their life in the face of totalitarianism, in the face of economic ruin. And so I want to share what I'm learning along the way with anybody who is also going on this journey. I have been storming Harrisburg with phone calls. I have been storming Washington with phone calls. I have been writing to organizations like the American Nurses Association, because something that a lot of people don't realize is that this is going to have a brutal effect on patient care, because a lot of nurses, a significant chunk, we don't like to talk about this much, but you can look this up. There are articles and articles written. You can find it on the internet. we were always short staffed. There's always been and not enough nurses to go around. COVID comes along, a bunch of nurses say, screw this, I'm out of here. Either they were taking care of immunocompromised people at home, or they were just like, this is not, I don't want to catch a disease or whatever, or they were getting comfortably, financially comfortable enough, maybe they had a spouse or whatever, and they just said, I'm going to do something else with the rest of my life. They left. And make no mistake, they're not coming back. Some staffer that I talked to at my local state representative said, well, I'm sure they'll come back. I said, no, they all have new jobs now. Jobs where they don't have to work holidays and weekends, and they're doing what they want. They're okay with making less money. They're not coming back. For the suits, for the pearls and pumps crowd who just thinks, oh, there's going to be up and coming nursing students. We'll just hold out until the nice try. There aren't enough nursing students to fill the spots. I work with people who work double shifts. That means 16-hour shifts, as much as the law allows. 16-hour shifts several times a week. And a lot of these same people, they have that kind of dedication to their job. They'll work hard, but they're concerned about a vaccine that was developed too fast. For those of you who say you're not allowed to say the word rushed, outside of the COVID-19 vaccine, the next fastest to market vaccine was measles, 4 years. It took 4 years to develop measles, and measles is a disease that we knew a lot about. Measles is an ancient disease, okay, from centuries and millennia. We know a lot about it. The first recorded case of COVID, on the other hand, was on December 31st, 2019. Okay, so the vaccine mandate from Biden, from Governor Wolf. I'm in the state of Pennsylvania, from Governor Wolf. Okay, to be fair, to be honest, Biden says, or you can test. Governor Wolf's mandate is a little bit more confused. Basically, it boiled down to if you were in either prison, working in a prison, nursing home setting, certain, you cannot be hired to a new job if you weren't fully vaccinated by September. So at that point, as of last week, I was stuck where I was. But I work at a pretty good place. I don't care, and I'm not going to say my employer's name, okay? Because I'm already up to here. But unfortunately, the hospital systems and the corporations are doing the government's dirty work for them. So the government can say, oh, we didn't force you out of your job. They're all in collusion together. So at any rate, so these vaccine mandates, what's going to happen is this already stressed staff, a chunk of them, it will be, I don't know, a non-0%, okay? I don't know how much. They're going to leaving the staff, which is already burnt out. I can tell you where I work, we have people who they apply for vacation time, they can't get it because there's nobody to cover. So you know what they do? They take their vacation anyway, and they call out sick. Oh, I'm so sick, I can't come in. All right. And nobody really says anything because we know they're tired, they're burnt out. But it impacts patient care. But there's nobody else. There's no more pairs of hands. So what does the company do? What does the government do? I mean, in Biden and Wolf's defenses, they're not nurses. They don't know. So I can kind of give them a little bit of wiggle room that they don't know what they're talking about because they're not nurses. But when my company or the other hospital systems say, oh, we're short staffed, what should we do? Let's fire the nurses. Okay, great. Yes, some people will cave under this pressure, but they're not all going to cave. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up here. I'm basically going to bring you along on my journey of how I changed my career. Have a good one.